Northern Ireland's one of the few European countries that bans terminations of pregnancy even in cases of rape, incest and fatal fetal abnormalities. The only way that you would be able to have an abortion in Northern Ireland would be if there was direct risk to your health and your life. And even that's up to a doctor's discretion. Someone could say, well, this person doesn't seem like they're about to die to me, this person doesn't seem suicidal to me, so you wouldn't be allowed to have an abortion. If you did have an abortion without the clearance from two medical professionals, you would then be subject to prosecution. You could technically be given a life sentence in prison, and anyone that helped you could also be prosecuted. Even if you're told that your baby isn't forming properly, if they're not going to survive outside the womb, you still can't have a termination. You have to wait until you miscarry, or you have to wait until you give birth to a baby that may well be dead. And also women who miscarry often have to provide evidence that they've actually miscarried and haven't induced their own miscarriage, which is just adding to incredible amounts of trauma that mothers already experience. Because so many people in the rest of the United Kingdom are completely unaware. They think that the law is identical to what we have here. A lot of people partake in the protests about Trump and about him cutting funding to family planning clinics, which is awful. But then, you know, in the United Kingdom, there's this country that is screaming for assistance from the rest of the United Kingdom, and nobody even knows about it. It's featured in news in Northern Ireland daily. I mean, there's situations where girls are raped and they're forced to have the baby of their attacker, which is insane that you would put somebody through that. I mean, there's situations in the news like a woman who ordered abortion pills off the internet, induced her abortion at home, and then her flatmates found the fetus remains in their communal bin. She was then reported to the police and she's now been prosecuted. But these sort of situations wouldn't happen if women had appropriate contact with clinics and family planning associations. That woman could have so easily just gone to a clinic and received the help and support that she needed, but instead, obviously, it's bizarre and horrific that they had to find that, but it's bizarre and horrific that she had to go through that at home alone with people that obviously couldn't have been amazing friends to her if they've reported her to the police for that. I think a lot of people in Northern Ireland are scared that if abortion did become legal, there'd be this massive growth in women that were trying to receive abortion on demand services, which is rubbish. Nobody wants to have an abortion. It's not a fun activity. It's traumatic in itself for girls in England and Scotland and Wales that have to go through that, let alone women who are in Northern Ireland and have to travel to another country, pay for that, find funding for the actual abortion, their accommodation, travel, a lot of the time going alone because nobody else can afford to go with them. I don't understand why you would want to add to this horrific experience. Nobody that's pro-choice is pro-abortion. It's having the choice to make your own opinion on things that will have such a detrimental effect to you. I understand where people who are pro-life come from in a lot of ways, but I mean, you can be pro-life without shoving your own opinions and views down other people's throats. There's so many other people that are completely in disagreement with that law but are subject to it nonetheless, because I mean, Northern Ireland has an incredibly high Catholic population, and as much as a lot of the anti-abortion advocates would say it's not related to religion, I think it very much is. It plays a big factor in a lot of different laws they have there. I mean, in schools they've got pro-life advocates go into the schools and talk about how man will meet woman, man will marry woman, man and woman will consummate their marriage and they will have a family, they will have babies, and the cycle will continue. There's no teaching of homosexual relationships, there's no teaching about consent, there's no teaching about if girls need to have abortions, they can have them. That's not included in syllabus at all. I mean, women are treated like human incubators in a way, which is bizarre. You would have thought that it's 2017, we would have come so much further than that sort of thing. Northern Ireland as a country it's archaic in its ways of thinking. They want women who have been raped and want to have an abortion to be prosecuted if they do that in the country. They want women who are told that their babies aren't going to survive outside the womb to be prosecuted if they have an abortion in the country. They want children who have been raped or subject to horrible situations and have happened to get pregnant. Their parents help them to induce an abortion. The parents will get prosecuted, doctors will get prosecuted. People are being prosecuted on the regular now. Anyone who can be confirmed to have assisted the abortion that any woman that would have in Northern Ireland is at risk of being prosecuted. There's recently been a mum who got reported by her doctor to the police because she helped her teenage daughter get abortion pills off the internet, which is crazy. Doctors are all at liability to report to the police if anyone has come to them and said, I am pregnant, I don't want to have my baby, I'm going to have an abortion. It's their legal responsibility to tell the police. There's no confidentiality when it comes to this sort of thing. A lot of doctors don't like the law, they don't agree with the law. I mean, there's a constant debate about when life actually starts. They have to follow the laws that are in place there, which is unjust and unfair and disgusting. Human rights as a topic isn't devolved to Northern Ireland Stormont Parliament. People in the rest of the United Kingdom can help change the law by putting pressure on MPs and having it brought up in parliamentary conversations.